Hello friends, this is Sai Fanindra from SQL School. I assure you complete practice oriented training, completely into real world operations, right from the scratch in this beautiful vast data engineering course. We will be aiming at, in this course we will aim at both on-job activities as well as DP203, DP203 certification content. It's completely practical, 100% real time, and concept wise FAQs, project FAQs, along with real world scenarios and end to end project. Come on, let's get started. Let's understand slowly, step by step, what this course is about, who can learn it, and why. The advantages of this course, data engineering course. Let's see. From our courses diagram, the courses brochure, 1, 7 or 176 will be the combinations. The data engineering course plans. You are already aware of SQL Server concepts, then you can opt for 7. If someone is new to database, new to SQL, new to TSQL, prefer to go for 1, 7. Just 1 and 7. If in case you are planning to showcase more experience in your resume, in such a case, you go for 167, adding Power BI to the list. Let's understand what exactly Azure is and what we do as a data engineer. Come on, let's get started slowly, step by step. Let's understand what is Azure, and what is Azure data engineer, like what is the job role for the data engineer, and what we learn in this beautiful, simple, straightforward, 100% practical course. Let's get started slowly. And before we step into the actual curriculum, let's understand what is Azure. Before that, what is cloud? A platform to ensure 24/7 secured access to your data. Any kind of data, any amount of data. And we can access, operate on this data using browser, just like this. Something called portal.azure.com. We are going to configure it in our next class and start working with databases, data warehouse, Spark clusters, Spark SQL, big data analytics, etc. This server, database, and warehouse, all these can be accessible using either browser or using a tool called SSMS, Management Studio Tool. Same way, there are certain tools that we need to install in our journey during this course, like Explorer tool and something called migration tool, ADF migration tool, data migration assistant, etc. So either using tools or through browser, we can get a friendly touch on the cloud components. The main purpose of cloud: data storage, security, ETL, faster, and big data analytics. It's all about storage, ETL, and big data analytics. These are the three major takeaways from this particular course, data engineering course. Benefits of cloud compared to on-premise. Yes, we need not involve in physical infrastructure. No physical infrastructure is involved, so low maintenance overhead. User friendly, easy security and threat management activities. We are going to practically understand lot of security and threat management implementation strategies as a data engineer. As a data engineer, we are also responsible for big data storage, wherein we will learn something called data lake, Synapse warehouse, Databricks file systems, IoT, etc. IoT means Internet of Things. We have IoT devices for storage, messages and other event storage. Big data analytics and reporting. Here we learn about something called Databricks and Synapse analytic components. Rich ETL operations, ETL technologies, Python, Scala, Spark SQL, etc. A lot of ETL components we need to learn and implement at our job desk. And easy migration activities. We have data migration tools, data factory migration tools, and something called as self-hosted, also called self-hosted IRs. We call it as integration runtimes, which are actually easy to use components for bridging the data between your local computer and cloud. Mainly for data factory and Synapse Analytics, we require the self-hosted IRs and something like this. And automated maintenance activities like auto indexing, statistics updates, etc. So as a data engineer, we are responsible mainly for two primary components, storage and ETL. In both cases, we have analytic activities. With this information, popular cloud providers, we have Azure, Microsoft Cloud, AWS Cloud, and Google Cloud. Three important cloud providers. Azure, a Microsoft cloud platform, free tools for secure data access and integrations. So using Azure, we can upload, operate, store, read, report, and mash up any kind of data. It is cheaper, highly secure, and easy usage with big data storage, including analytics. So remember, the main advantage of cloud: easy access, secured, faster, easy usage. So as a data engineer, we focus on storage components and ETL, extract, transform, and load ETL components. In this journey, we need to also concentrate on security, storage security, and ETL security, and optimization, storage optimizations, and ETL optimizations. So it's all about storage, ETL, security, and optimizations, four important pillars in our course. So what we actually learn, here it is. We have few Azure fundamentals. We need to learn like Active Directory, Azure Metrics or Azure Monitor Activity, simply say Azure Metrics, Azure Key Vaults, and Azure SQL Server, all the basic fundamental activities in this course. We need to work with Azure storage components, storage accounts, data lake storage, Synapse warehouse, and Databricks file system, Storage account and data lake are mostly used for files and shares. Synapse SQL pool, also called dedicated SQL pool, mainly for warehousing to store old, historical, inactive data. And we have Databricks file system to store data temporarily for faster ETL with Databricks. So 4 different storage components and different ETL components, Azure ETL components. We need to practice and implement Databricks, perform code-based ETL using Python, Scala, and Spark, Data Factory, codeless ETL using GUI and Power Query, Synapse Analytics, code-based ETL using Python, Scala, and Spark, and codeless ETL, GUI and Power Query operations. So Databricks is more into code-based. Data Factory is more into codeless GUI, graphical user interface, mix of both Synapse Analytics. So in ETL, we need to take 3 major components, and finally we have Azure data streaming components, Azure Stream Analytics, to process any kind of live streaming data like live temperatures, live stock market operations, live device tracking, Google Maps, something like that. Anything live, anything that changes over time on the screen, reporting screen. This stream analytics requires something called IoT Hub to capture live, real-time data for web applications, and also event hubs capture auto-generated and event-based data in real time. So preferably on-premise applications, devices, and Synapse data warehouse logging activities possible with event hubs. So we need to learn from scratch fundamentals, 4 components, storage, 4 more components, ETL 3, and streaming 3. Total 6 plus 8, 14 different components we need to learn, and then we need to conclude our entire 6 weeks data engineering journey with an end-to-end project, including guidance for DP203 certification examination. To get into this data engineering track, we need to have Windows 8 or higher operating system, as we need to install certain tools like, for example, Azure Storage Explorer, something called Data Studio, something else called migration tools, etc. So we require Windows 8 or higher operating system, 8 gig RAM, and 10 gig disk space. And these are minimal requirements, okay? Minimal requirements. And further, in our classes, we will be understanding from scratch, right from Azure fundamentals, and step into something called Data Factory and install some source databases and perform Synapse data warehouse activities called massively parallel processing, MPP activities, tables, data loads, monitoring, etc. All these come under Transact SQL. Further, in Data Factory component, we need to understand about ETL and incremental loads. with specific transformations like join, pivot, group by, aggregate, etc. During this journey, we need to also implement few SQL scripts in our examples, and even Synapse security. As a data engineer, we will be responsible for security administration, management, and there comes transact SQL script for logins, users, roles, something else called resource classes, etc. So keeping in mind these examples, line of our examples, we need to have SQL Server 2017 or 19, 2017 or higher operating system, 2017 or higher SQL Server is required on Windows 8 or higher operating system. Both SQL Server and SSMS tool, SQL Server Management Studio. Please revise creating databases, creating tables with relations, because we need to do some data modeling here, data warehousing in our course. Joins and basics of procedures with parameters. Please revise these mentioned concepts. Basics of SQL Server should be enough to start with our data engineering classes. You're already aware of this SQL Server, then you can directly step into data engineering. You're aware of box 1, SQL Server basics. You can step into box 7 directly. If not, please make sure you get into SQL Server first, 1, and then go for 7. Programming is not at all required. We are not into hardcore development. We are into ETL activities. We need to concentrate more on queries, data formatting, data filtering, data aggregations, etc. Simply say operations, queries. And a common question we generally get is, from our journey, I was mentioning about Python, Scala, Spark. Yes, we'll start from the scratch. I assume we are new to Python, new to Scala, new to Spark SQL. We'll take it from the scratch throughout the course. And I request you to make sure you have minimum 1 hour free time every day to complete all your tasks and also to submit the case studies and FAQs on time. So as per DP203 examination, considering the curriculum from the DP203 examination content from Microsoft, we need to have specific course plans. So plan A, data engineer, knowledge on SQL Server and TSQL, prerequisite, and directly get into the job role data engineer. Plan B, starters, so new to database, and the job role would be data engineer. So for plan B, no prerequisites, you can start directly with data engineer and SQL together. You'll go together. If in case you are new to database, you'll start with SQL, step into T-SQL, then data engineer, finally Power BI, dual roles, Azure data engineers and Azure data analytics or data analysts. That's the actual job role. So plan A is core data engineer. Make sure you revise your SQL Server concepts to step here. If not, you can get into SQL plus data engineer plan B. You learn SQL Server first, then data engineering concepts next, one after the other. Plan C additionally include Power BI. So we have different components from our classes. SQL Server, wherein you have DML, DDL, select everything, basics from SQL Server 2019 or 17 versions. From there you step into data engineering, data factory, and Synapse. Data factory is more into ETL and Synapse is more into data warehouse. Alternative ETL component Databricks, and we have data lake storage and Azure Stream Analytics. Total 4 important components we need to concentrate in our data engineering course, and here is a complete list of all concepts. The yellow box, the base, the fundamentals. From there we have SQL database to server to firewalls and SQL database concepts, or we have something called as pricing tier activities. So this actually is your SQL, and then we have SQL database. Both are different. We have different concepts pertaining to Synapse, data factory, and Synapse workspace environments. We have storage components, Azure storage components, stream analytic components, Databricks with ETL, and Spark SQL for transformations, cluster configurations, caching, tuning, alerts, grabs, analytics, and integrations. And in this entire course, a 6 weeks course from scratch, we have an end-to-end project implementation as well. So you have the detailed curriculum right from the introduction to the complete data factory that contains total of 12 chapters, right from the basics to ETL, data warehousing, data flow, Power Query, Synapse Analytics, etc. Then we have storage activities, Azure storage activities. These storage activities include right from the Azure storage and components to migrations, Azure tables and shares, security operations, Azure monitoring, Power BI, stream analytics and IoT, Internet of Things. We have event hubs and IoT hubs. And finally, the security activities with something called key vaults and certificates, keys, managed identities, etc. To continue, we have the third module, Databrick operations, Databricks. Here we need to concentrate more on ETL and storage, Python notebooks, Scala notebooks, transformations, with Databricks with virtual networks, Delta Lake, data factory integrations, and Databricks integrations, end-to-end operations. Databricks with storage and analytics, staging activities, and Synapse SQL pool, Synapse activities, and finally Power BI integrations like this end-to-end implementations. I repeat again, once again, I assume we are aware of SQL, but new to Python, new to Scala, new to Spark, will take it slowly from step by step from scratch. And what next? Yes, this data engineer components can be used in Power BI for analytic activities. Developers, SQL developers can use Power BI. MSBI developers can use Power BI, or data engineers can use Power BI. In our examples, we'll understand as a data engineer, the connection details will be taken. The connection configurations. For example, you take data factory, say Databricks. In Databricks, we can have the connections to Power BI using something called built-in Spark connectors. So as a data engineer, we are supposed to generate and supply access tokens to analytics team. We are supposed to identify or configure server hosts, ports, paths, HTTP paths, etc. So our duty to supply the required connection ingredients for analytics teams, developer teams, and data science teams. We are like a backend. The data engineers are more or like a backend environment. We play a major role at the backend to service the requests from Azure developers, Azure data analysts, and data scientists. With this information, the actual lab plan, you would be able to download this Excel file from the link you see below this video. Yes, coming to the lab plan, in your computer, make sure you have SQL Server and SSMS installed. Please do that before we start our actual data engineering classes. We'll start from the scratch, understand various tools like Explorer tool, and installing and using Power BI, Visual Studio, migration, and real-time apps. We'll be understanding various storage components and various ETL components with a backdrop of three major technologies. We are not into a hardcore development, but whatever is required from the engineering perspective, ETL perspective, we'll take it here. So we have storage, ETL with Power BI. With this information, either you may opt for the live online training, on-demand video training, or corporate, any of these three. Any of these three, you have the same content, same curriculum, of different modules, fundamentals to data factory. First we'll go for fundamentals, and then we go for data factory. Next, Synapse Analytics, blob storage, data lake storage, stream analytics, Databricks with Spark SQL, and end-to-end implementation activities. Project FAQs, concept page FAQs, certification guidance, I'll take care. Practice part, you please take care. Make sure you practice throughout the course carefully, step by step. And Further clarification is always welcome to reach me on my LinkedIn or my Gmail account or to my team directly. Glad to assist you. I assure you complete practice-oriented lectures. Just make sure on-time practice and remember to install SQL Server, SSMS tool, SQL Server Management Studio, revise SQL Server basics, fundamentals to step into the data engineering course right from the scratch. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Meeting soon as per your comfort for our actual classes. And I assure you again and again, sessions will be completely into practice based, completely practice oriented. So on-time practice, highly recommended to enjoy the actual essence of our examples to help us at our job desk. Thank you very much. Have a nice time. Thank you once again.